Okay, so yeah, I do think that your level of competitiveness is a muscle. It definitely is, and I had a tremendous coach in college at Oklahoma State years ago, Joe C, and he said that he says winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing, and because and he said there are guys on this team. Now they weren't necessarily starting because we won three NCAA titles. Actually, I was there 6 years because I gray shirted to get bigger after high school, but I was still like quasi part of the team. But so we won three NCAA titles and one dual championship. And we were runners up twice in the dual championships in the 6 years I were there. So we were pretty much top dogs, and it was kind of a life changing experience and a great part of my life. But he did say, he goes, there's guys in this room who are used to losing. You become okay with it. It doesn't sting. He was like, winning is a habit, but so is losing. And that really, man, I don't know, it like scarred me because I remember I was like a freshman and I was like, he's right. I cannot let that happen. So I do think it's something that we have to develop. And that's what's great about going to different gyms and getting different partners, because let's be honest, you have the same two sparring partners. You can kind of, you can lose your competitive edge. Then, like 3 weeks ago, we had an elite club in Wisconsin. They came down, they were going to the Kids Tulsa Nationals, and they said, hey, can we stop by and train with you guys? I'm like, heck yeah. They came to our Wednesday practice, which is packed with state medalists, like 40 state medalists in there, a bunch of champs. And our kids and their kids, they tore into each other. But it was very cool just because I guarantee you, Chase Gray and Justin Brown, they're both state medalists many times, state runner-up, Justin twice. They both placed at the kids' national tournaments countless times, but they're not going for blood, And but when we had this team come from Wisconsin, I was watching those two guys, and all the others as well, and they were kind of going for blood. So I think sometimes just complacency and normalcy and boredom and just the frequency of training with somebody. So how do you spice that up? So this is what we do. Well, obviously we have matches, right? I'm like, okay, we have a 4-minute takedown match. Take him down, let him up. I'm going to ask who wins, and I do. I'm like, okay, if you won, if you lost, or if you won, raise your hand. Okay, here we go again. Then we might just do a match, right? They're officiating themselves, obviously. Okay, if you won, raise your hand. Okay, if you didn't, take a knee. Okay, so I went there to be a declared winner. So that's something that you can do. A second thing I do is like, okay, I have a partner. What if you have a partner that you can beat? Okay, I want to beat you by X number of points. Okay, we're going to have a 6-minute match, 2-minute period, 3 2-minute periods, what we have in wrestling. Justin, if you told Chase that you're going to beat him by 9 points. Here we go. So instead of saying, okay, let's have a match, raise your hand if you won, which we do that a lot too. Now it's getting a little bit more personal. Okay, now if I don't beat you by 9 points, then I lose. So you can do that in jiu-jitsu too, right? So, two women might train together all the time and they're good friends, but now that there's a competitive thing, now that they might start to challenge each other a little bit. So I definitely think rotating partners is key. Going to other gyms and camps and clinics if they're available, and training with other athletes, and certainly the competition. Think about the nervousness of a competition, and there's a lot of excitement there as well. But if we can learn to generate that within our own workout room, we can do what? We can build our level of competitiveness, because yes, competitiveness is a muscle. It does get bigger or it shrinks, and it's kind of our responsibility as coaches to make sure that doesn't happen. And we can do that by manipulating the practices in some of the ways that I discussed, and it really will spice things up.